Rick, let me know when we're ready.
Okay. Hang on a second. Fred?
Yeah.
Is there someone else signed into the YouTube control?
I don't think so.
Okay, better not be. Okay. All right, we're good to go?
Let's do
Let's
it.
go.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everybody. Fred Lam here, and welcome to our Ask Fred Lam Show, episode 018. Now, in today's topic, I would have to tell you, I'm actually embarrassed to bring this topic to you because when I was first asked, do I have a LinkedIn profile, I simply said, I actually do not. And actually, I started working on my LinkedIn profile, and I just realized how many people and professions or professionals are actually using LinkedIn. But one thing that really struck me that I have never even imagined out of my years of buying traffic online is that you can actually get free traffic from LinkedIn. And one of the best part is that you can get highly targeted traffic from LinkedIn and build a business of LinkedIn. Now, let me ask you guys this one question. Put a 1 in the question box if you actually have LinkedIn. Like, I'm just curious to know. And give me a 2 if you actually don't even have LinkedIn. Well, I actually have a mixture. I actually have a lot of 1s over a 2. And you know what? I'm very embarrassed to say that I don't really even have a LinkedIn account. I actually just got my LinkedIn account like 2-3 weeks ago, and I just started putting things on there. And I'm a complete noob when it comes to LinkedIn. So what happened was that I obviously went out to reach out to find out who is a LinkedIn expert in our space. And I came to my realization that I had a mutual friend that actually helped Tony Robbins at his event and also co-authored a book with Jack Canfield with the Chicken Soup for the Soul, which I had the honor to meet just last week. And this gentleman, he is using LinkedIn like left, right, and center. And I would never have imagined how powerful LinkedIn is. So write in the question box, put in a me if you are excited to actually hear about LinkedIn and how you can actually drive traffic, how you can actually make cash of LinkedIn. And I know that almost like every single one of you gave me a 1, and you would actually see how important LinkedIn is. Now, here's something that's even more exciting, right? Every single week, I'm going to be giving away $500 investment towards your business. So again, like today, if you stay to the very end to this training, I'm going to challenge you to do one thing. Okay, and once you have done that one thing, I will randomly select you to get $500. Put in 0 up in the question box if you guys are excited about the 0 up funds, because I actually have given away quite a lot of money throughout just the past several weeks of just investing into people's businesses, because you guys are here for a reason. You've intended to be here, and you're here because you want to find a way to actually learn how you can build a business online, or most importantly, to really see what is the latest strategies and what is the latest training out there. So with that being said, put in a word go, 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 so we can actually officially kickstart this. Now, before people are piling into go, 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 here are some things that I'm going to be telling you. I've been traveling pretty crazily for the past week and this upcoming week. So for those of you who actually got Learn Insider for the past 2 weeks, I just literally received the list of all the people that joined on my phone right now, and I'm going to give you access into iPro Labs like I basically have given you guys promises of, and it should be sending out tomorrow or the next day. So watch out for your inbox so you can actually get access into your iPro Lab for those of you who actually went into Learn Insider. So with that being said, again, Lucille said that, are you going to be doing giveaway on GoToWebinar or Facebook? I don't know yet. We'll see what my mood is, where I am at, and then we can go from there. And again, all right, how many people is the first time here? Put in the word me if you're the first time here at our show, because I actually just got a message by, we actually have a lot of first timer. Gideon, we got Brad, Perry, Denise, Kelly, Manny, Harzat, Jerry. we got Paul, Francisco, Ben, Mark, Bin. Wow, a lot of newcomers on our Ask Fred Lam show right now. Eduardo said that, welcome guys, you will not regret. All right, so for those of you who are actually been late, all right, today we're going to show you exactly how to cash in with LinkedIn. And one of the most important part is that this person that's going to actually teach you all the strategies actually taught at Tony Robbins' event. Put in the one in the question box if you guys have heard of Tony Robbins. Like, you literally, like, you guys know how expensive it is to actually have been on Tony Robbins training. And now you guys get to actually learn from a person that got invited by Tony Robbins to actually run a section of his training. And most importantly, this guy actually co-authored a book with Jack Canfield, a gentleman, a legend that I had the honor to meet, and they co-author a book together, and I'm like blown away with his credential. And when I was trying to actually crack the code at LinkedIn, he is my go-to guy. And in fact, just like all you guys, I'm going to actually grab a piece of paper and pen ready to take notes, because I'm interested to hear how I can actually drive traffic from LinkedIn to my site. So without waiting further ado, I want you guys to officially welcome our guest speaker, Greg, with an I. All right, it's Greig. Welcome, Greg, right in the question box so he can actually see how excited you guys are. And Greg, are you here? Just want to do a quick sound check.
I am. Here I am, coming off of mute. Let me know if you're hearing me loud and clear.
All right. We got a lot of... Put a 2 in the question box if you guys can hear Greg. Sweet, sweet, sweet. All right, so I'm not going to take a lot of your guys' time. I'm going to actually change Greg as the presenter so he can actually go through all his tips and all his strategies with you guys. And again, Greg, it is such an honor of mine to be hosting this show with you as a special guest speaker, because I know that you have something that is truly amazing. And when I knew that you actually had this training at Tony Robbins' event, and I was like blown away that this is definitely something that my followers would absolutely love. So, Greg, take it forward from here.
All right. Thanks a lot for that introduction, Fred. I'm really excited to be here today. And just to double check that we're loud and clear, there we are. I got your webcam paused. And you should now be seeing my screen and hearing me loud and clear. And again, just to double check that you are, how about if we have you put into the chat box what kind of business you're in? And this will just help me to tailor today's training to the audience that we have here today, because I want to use some examples and case studies that are specific to you. So if you're hearing me loud and clear, tell me in the chat box what kind of business you have. I see we have a lot of Shopify, e-commerce people here, some real estate, some MLM, some digital agencies, a lot of e-com, a lot of affiliate marketing, Shopify, Amazon, fantastic. All right, and so since everyone is putting that into the chat box, it seems like we are all systems go. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into how to cash in on LinkedIn. And I want to start a little bit unconventionally. You know, one of the reasons Tony Robbins selected me for my to train for his Business Mastery event, which, as Fred mentioned, that's a $5,000 event, is that I teach through stories, and it helps people to learn, and it also makes it more fun. And so I want to start off talking real quick about my daughter, and you'll see there's a purpose to this. And I want to talk about my daughter and sharks, because I live here in the Tampa area. I love to go swimming at Clearwater Beach, and my daughter and I would always have a great time at Clearwater Beach until very recently she saw this show called Shark Week. Thanks for ruining my beach experience with my daughter. If you've heard of Shark Week or have seen this and kind of get what I'm talking about, go ahead and put shark into the chat box. And so I'll tell you, since she's seen this Shark Week, she is scared to death to go swimming in the water. Now, there's never been a shark at Clearwater Beach, but I tell her that, and that really hasn't helped my case at all. Shark Week, for those of you who don't know what it is, it's a week-long series where they show all these specials. It's a National Geographic thing about sharks, and basically it shows you how dangerous they are. And so what I did was I set out to do some research to convince my daughter that it was okay for her to go swimming with me at Clearwater Beach, and she didn't need to be worried about sharks. And so this is what I found in my research, that more people are killed every year by hippos than sharks. Now, I showed her this right on Google, right? So it's got to be true. I wasn't getting anywhere. So I continued with my research, and I found that more people were killed every year from cows than sharks. Now, come on, you're not scared when you see a cow when you're driving by the road. This was the real kicker. I showed her this right from major news here in Google, that more people are killed every year by snails than sharks. So come on, you're not scared of a snail. I'm trying to show her the numbers, right? That the facts, that the odds of you dying from a shark are less than the odds of you dying from a snail. And, we can't live our lives scared of snails, so why are you scared of sharks? And it's right there on ABC News. So even in the face of all of this evidence, my daughter still doesn't swim in the water. We go to the beach, she just won't go in the water, which takes a lot of the fun out of it for me. So what's the point to this story? The point is that the media has created my daughter's reality. What she saw on TV is her reality, no matter how much facts I present her with. Do you get that? If you get that part of the story, that TV, the media, has created her reality, type media into the chat box. I want to make sure the lesson from the story is sinking in here. So what today is going to be about is how can we use the media to create a reality of massive authority to get people to choose your products over your competition. If the media says your products or your services are better, people are going to buy from you. Even in the face of evidence against it, the media shapes our reality. Now, we're going to learn today how to use the media to create this authority for your business, for your products and services. And while we're doing that, that's kind of the base hits, to use a sports metaphor. We're also going to use the media to get massive exposure, to get our business in front of millions of eyeballs. Would you like that? Type millions in the chat box if you'd be excited if I showed you today how you can get your products, your services, your Shopify store, your Amazon business in front of millions. Millions. Okay, fantastic. So not only are you going to leave today with knowing how to get the authority so that they feel you're the best and will buy from you even in the face of competition, but we're going to get you in front of millions. And for a third thing is the icing on the cake here today. While we're at it, would you like to see how to get your product or service in front of thousands of buyers with over $100,000 a year in annual income? Type 100K or $100,000 into the chat box if this would just be the icing on the cake. On top of that, Greg, if you could show me how to get people with money, because really one of the main reasons people don't buy your products or services is they just don't have the disposable income to do it. Oftentimes, it's not that you're competing with your direct competition. You get that, right? You're competing with, do I buy your product or service, or do I buy food for my family, right? And if those are the kind of people you're marketing to, that's a tough one for you to win, right? You get that, right? If we're marketing to people that have disposable income, that have over $100,000 a year in household income, they're going to buy your products and services. And really, that's the icing on the cake. The media exposure to the millions is the home run. So that's today's agenda. We're going to create expert authority so they choose you. We're going to show you how to get you on TV or print in front of millions and thousands of buyer leads effortlessly. So the million-dollar question is, how are we going to do it? And that's what today's webinar is about, the answer of how we're going to do it. As Fred mentioned, we're going to use LinkedIn. And I'm going to show you how I've used LinkedIn to do this. So let me first show you some of my success and then some of my students' success so that you can start to see the type of success that's possible when you follow my formula for success of combining media with LinkedIn. Now, a couple notes about myself. The things I'm going to show you today are not things I make a living teaching. These are things I do for a living. Yes, I speak for Tony Robbins because I'm a big Tony Robbins fan. But the reason Fred's asked me to be here, as opposed to many other LinkedIn experts that might be out there that make their living selling courses, I don't have a course. I do this stuff that I'm showing you, and I'm going to show you exactly how I do it to sell my products and services just like you do. Physical products and services. And I do it big in the media and get into the media using LinkedIn. So just to give you some examples of the success you're going to be able to have after today, I've been in all 4 of the major television networks. Just imagine if your product or service was seen on ABC. I'm not talking about an advertisement. I'm talking about featured in the news, right? You get that the news is much more powerful than advertising. Type news into the chat box if that's clear to you. And I don't want to leave anyone behind, but I don't want to spend time on concepts you guys already get either. When the news is talking about you, it's much more powerful than advertising on the news networks, or much more powerful than Facebook ads even, because there's authority in that. It's assumed they've done some due diligence to talk about your products. So I've leveraged those media appearances, as Fred mentioned, to speak for Tony Robbins. What you're seeing here on the left is the email that Tony Robbins sent out to all of his followers, telling them that they need to come to my webinar and that I was going to be speaking at his Business Mastery event. Even more honored than speaking for Tony Robbins, which is right up there, I'm a huge Tony guy, was when I got to speak at West Point. Even West Point, which is probably the most old school traditional institution in America, they recognize now the importance of LinkedIn, and they had me there to speak about leadership and how their leaders are going to represent themselves on LinkedIn. As Fred's mentioned, my book went on to become a bestseller. I'm going to show you exactly how that deal landed in my lap. Type lap in the chat box if you'd like to have book deals, customers, media deals landing in your lap, meaning coming inbound to you. This isn't something that I've had to work at a lot. This is what I'm going to show you is how I set up things right on LinkedIn and do a few small things right every day, and then deals flow inbound to me and land in my lap. Fantastic. So I'm not an internet marketing guru. I'm not somebody you've probably heard of, but you've probably heard of these guys. This is Ryan Dice and Frank Kern. When they want to know what to do on LinkedIn, as you can see on the whiteboard here, I'm the guy they call. But I prefer to stay behind the scenes. I'm not trying to be a celebrity like them. I'm more of a lifestyle entrepreneur. This is my dreams come true. This is my mom and I in Fiji at a Tony Robbins event with 100 people. And this is my girlfriend and I at her daughter's birthday party. I'd much rather spend time hanging out with my family and loved ones than being a celebrity. So I don't do a lot of webinars. I don't do a lot of training. I've automated my businesses, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can too. But I do want to show you proof that this stuff works. So here's my financials in full disclosure, not to impress you, just to show you proof this stuff works. 1.4 million, 2014, 1.9 million, 2015, 1.9 million, 2016, we're still calculating, but right around that same ballpark. $2 million business with just me, with nobody else working, with no employees, and using LinkedIn. 160,000 person email list. I'm going to show you exactly how I did this. Would you like this? Type 16K into the chat box if you'd like to get just 10% of this right. If you picked up an email list of 16,000 targeted buyers who had over $100,000 worth of income, so I'm going to show you exactly how I did this and how easy it is to do it on LinkedIn. And really, more importantly than me, I don't take on a lot of people that I help, but the people I help, I'm going to give you everything I give them tonight, and they've all had success. And a lot of my people have made their first money ever online. So today is about you. Today is about helping you become the next success story in my group. You're next to be found. Being found is one of the core concepts that works for me on LinkedIn. This means having things land on your lap. And if you take a look at my email inbox here, on any given day, these are all the people that are writing into me, hey, the stuff in the webinar worked, I'm being found. So how we're going to do it is we're going to combine LinkedIn with the major media. Now, if you're a Tony Robbins fan at all, you know that one of Tony's core teaching concepts is about erasing limiting beliefs. And so that's one of the first things I want to address with regards to LinkedIn. So what I'd like to ask you is, if you are bringing in any previous preconceived notions about LinkedIn, could you put those on hold for tonight just to open your mind to what may be a different way of using LinkedIn that can make you some real significant dollars. We're talking 7-figure dollars for products or services. Give me a yes in the chat box if we can agree to level the playing field. So I know maybe you've tried LinkedIn before, maybe you've been to some LinkedIn webinars or some LinkedIn courses, but I think you can already start to tell that my way of doing LinkedIn is very different. My way works for physical products, works for services, works for coaching, because it ties in the media like nobody else does. There's no other LinkedIn expert in the world who has an email list or has had the success like I've had on LinkedIn. Now, there's one other limiting belief that I want to address before we dive full-blown into this. And this one is in regards to offering services. If I could show you a service that was completely turnkey, meaning you could learn it tonight on the webinar, and you didn't have to do any of the work, but with just minutes of fulfillment, you could make $700 or $800 at a time. Is this something you'd be open to? Give me a yes in the chat box. Give me a maybe in the chat box if you're not sure. And what I mean by this is, if there was just $100 bills on the ground, would you bend over and pick them up? Or would you say, no, that's not what I do, Greg. I'm not a bend over picker up. I'm too busy to pick up that money running my e-com store. I'm too busy with Shopify or Amazon. That money is just laying there. Let somebody else have it. No, of course not. That would be crazy, right? We're going to pick up the money if it's there. Well, we're going to enjoy that money. And we're going to use that money to finance our other business. Maybe your passion businesses like I do. Maybe if your ad spends for your e-com scores so you can finally scale. But if the money's right there to be picked up on LinkedIn, we're not going to say, no, I'm too busy to do LinkedIn, or I'm too busy to have a service business or something else. That'd be crazy. Exactly, Ignatius. And by the way, I am keeping an eye on the chat box, but I won't be able to answer questions as we go. What we'll do is we'll have a full-blown Q&A at the end. I encourage questions. Save your questions till we get till the end of the presentation, and I'll help you in any way that I can here. I'll stay here as long as we need to tonight. That's just my role and being here to serve you and Fred. Fred's been a great friend of mine. I'm really honored to be here today. So without further ado, let's dive into the 3 most important parts of your LinkedIn profile. Grab your notes and paper, because I'm about to pick up the pace. People tell me I'm a fast talker. I'm from Boston originally, and that's because I want to give you everything I can in the time we've got here today. And so let's dive deep into all 3 of these areas of your LinkedIn profile right now. And let's start first with your picture. Your picture is what instantly captures the eye at a glance on LinkedIn. And this stuff might sound fundamental. You might be thinking, how is my LinkedIn profile picture or each of these things you're teaching me, Greg, going to help me sell more products in my e-com business? Trust me, we're building to the home run. The home run is getting you in front of millions of people on in Wall Street Journal and Time Magazine and USA Today. The home run is getting lots of people with money looking at your profile every day, wanting to buy your products and services. But we got to start with the fundamentals, like in any sports. So your picture is one of the most overlooked important fundamentals on LinkedIn. Most LinkedIn experts barely talk about your picture. They'll tell you to have a picture with a smile. Okay, thanks. That's a no-brainer. What you want your picture to do is to instantly create authority. Your picture is what sucks them in and gets them to read the rest of your profile. Now, as a case study, take a look at this search results. This is the search that Jack Canfield's editors ran when they were looking for a LinkedIn author to team up with Jack Canfield to do the book deal. Tell me in the chat box, why did they pick me? I wasn't the most established author at the time, and I wasn't at the very top of the search results. And it's not just that I had the best hairline. Thank you, Jennifer. I'll take the compliments all day. There's one thing here that I have that the others don't have, and what Jack Canfield's editors said to me was, Greg, we knew you were the guy. We knew we didn't even have to interview any of these other LinkedIn offers. It was clear to us that you were the one we wanted in the book with Jack. Right from my picture. Exactly, those media logos in my profile picture. So tell me in the chat box, what does this demonstrate? How do you feel about me when you see this? How do you feel about anyone when you see them having these logos in their profile picture? And by the way, seeing that their competition doesn't have any of this. I see in the chat box authority, celebrity, trusted, confident, famous, professional, established, expert, trusted, credibility, experienced, established, famous. It goes on and on. And you know what? A picture is worth 1,000 words. I have conveyed all of those feelings about me to you in a very simple picture. Your picture is what draws them in and gets them to read the rest of your LinkedIn. With an average picture, you're lucky if they're coming in to reread your profile, and if they are, they're coming in skeptical. You want people coming to you feeling that you're famous, that you're authority, that you're trusted, that you're an expert. This is going to be you by the end of today. Now, if you're going to build authority, the best way to do it is by being on one of the 4 major television networks. These television networks have been around the longest. Back in our days, they were the only ones, right? Now there's a million TV channels, but these are the 4 most well-known, and they're the 4 most trusted. And that trust gets transferred to you when you've been on them. If NBC puts you on TV and talks about you or your products and services, it's like assume that NBC has vetted out all the different products and picked you out of everyone else. So you want to strive to get onto any one of these 4 television networks because that's the highest level of authority in the world. Now, and this goes back to the story I started with about my daughter's perception. You cannot change a person's perception once they see you in the media. Your customers will see you as the best once you've been in the media, and they will buy from you and not your competition. Even if your competition presents them with facts or bullet points that they're somehow better than you, they're not going to believe it. The best is the ones that are in the media. If you get that, type best in the chat box. If you want to be the best and want to learn how to use LinkedIn to get into the media, you're in the right place. This is what's going to position you as the best. And you, when it's you that's in the media, it applies to all your products and services. Now, any one of these 4 would make you the best. But if you happen to get into all 4 of these television networks like I have, a very interesting phenomenon happens. It's the phenomenon of agreement. Write that word down in your notes, agreement. You see, it's one thing to get on TV on one of these channels, but if you've been on all 4, because they generally try to pick different experts. You know, Fox wants to have a different flavor than NBC. But if you're the one who's been on all 4 of these, you've completely blocked out your competition. Because there's now agreement that you are the best. If you see the power of agreement, type that into the chat box. A couple of you guys got ahead of me there. Fantastic. Type agreement into the chat box. If you have a question about this, go ahead and ask the question in the chat box, and I'll try to weave an answer into it. But again, we'll have the full-blown Q&A at the end here today. Now, while we're on this subject of authority and this agreement, the holy grail of success, how much would it be worth to any business owner or professional to get guaranteed placement into the media, such as ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox, and then to be able to use those logos not just in your LinkedIn profile, but in all of your marketing? Give me a dollar number in the chat box of what this would mean to your business. Well, if your business is just starting out, picture a client's business or an established business that's on the upswing. If they were to get this type of authority and have this agreement that your Shopify products are clearly the best, that your Amazon store is clearly the best, that your services, your coaching are clearly the best, it would be priceless. Exactly. It would pay off in the millions, some of you are telling me. And you're exactly right. It has that much value. You know why? Because not only do you create this authority, and not only is this authority that valuable, but it pays off forever. You see, authority stays with you. Once I've been on TV, forever, for the rest of my life, I can say I was seen on TV, and that applies to any products I have, any services I have, any businesses I start. I can always say that those businesses are a part of it as well. So the payoff is forever over a lifetime. just to give you a case study in using these media logos on LinkedIn, because this is exactly the first step that I use to building my email list, but so did Carrie Wilkerson. Carrie says Greg's LinkedIn secret strategy, which is to add those logos to the profile picture, that is the first secret strategy, added over 300 registrations to her email list. This will work for you. Okay, so the picture with the logos is going to draw them into your LinkedIn profile. Now let's talk about the most important part of your LinkedIn profile when it comes to selling. And when we talk about selling, keep in mind you're not just selling individual customers, you're selling the media on your product and service, and you're selling potential partners. LinkedIn is full of business owners who sell to the same customer base as you. And so those opportunities to meet people who have thousands or millions of customers who could buy from you are here on LinkedIn. But you've got to have your LinkedIn summary written in a way that positions your products and services for the problems that they solve. You see, most people make a mistake of writing their profile like it is a resume. Huge mistake. If you're doing that, you're literally shooting yourself in the foot. You need to write your profile like it is a sales letter. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. I'm going to train you on exactly how to do that today. Now, before I show you what to do, let me tell you what not to do. So LinkedIn themselves has found that these are the 10 most overused words. When you use any one of these words, you sabotage your credibility and authority. These are what are considered to be fluff words. So you're going to be seen as an exaggerator, which at a subconscious level torpedoes your authority. Avoid those 10 words in your profile summary. Here's what to put in your profile summary. It's a 3-sentence formula that I'm going to train you on right now through some case studies. And we're all going to have the same 3 sentences in our profile because it works. It's proven to work, and I'll show you some examples of that. But we're going to customize this, of course, to your product or service. So it starts with you know how, and then what you're going to do is insert your target audience. And the more narrowly you can define your target audience, the better. You want to speak right to your ideal target audience. So struggle with, and then you're going to insert the biggest problem that you solve for your target audience. And you'll notice it's a question. And I'll break down the psychology of why this is in just a moment. So that's sentence number 1. Sentence number 2 is the same for all of us. I solved this. Sentence number 3 is how you solve it. So let's go through some case studies. I picked these based on some of the examples that you gave me here today. So some of the examples I saw here today was for a marketing agency that helps e-com business owners get more traffic, get more leads. So let's do this one together. Let's say we're this marketing agency and they specialize in helping e-com businesses. You would say in your profile, well, you know how e-com business owners struggle to find ways to get new customers from the internet? I solved this. And then you go on to tell them how you solve it in your specialty. So think about this for those, because I know we have a lot of e-com people here. If you read this in a LinkedIn profile, the first thing you're going to feel is congruency, because you are an e-com business and this guy specializes in helping e-com business owners. So there's power in congruency in your marketing, and I'm going to show you how to leverage this even further on LinkedIn. But write down that word, congruency. And if you read this, you know how e-com business owners struggle to find new ways to get customers from the internet, you'd probably say, yeah, I get that. That's a problem I have, right? And then when the person says, I solved this, now your mind is going to naturally say, I wonder how you solve it. And then you tell them how you solve it in sentence 3. You see, the problem most everyone makes in their business, or in writing your product descriptions for that matter, is that you go right to sentence number 3 and you just say what it does. And you don't focus on what it does and how it solves a problem for people. That's what people pay you money for, to solve problems for them. So this is called the pre-sell formula. And it's exactly what I use in my LinkedIn profile. And you can too. So let's break down the psychology of how and why this works. This is actually a really advanced copywriting technique. It's called entering the conversation in the reader's head. You've probably heard that you want to get your audience saying yes. If you can get them saying yeses, they're going to be on their way to buying from you. And the same principle applies to you. So when you ask that first question, the target audience is going to say yes. Yeah, I get that problem. I have that problem. And they're going to feel like you understand them. It's how you build rapport, through questions. This is somebody who finally understands me. This isn't somebody who's written his LinkedIn profile bragging about himself like a resume. This is a guy who can solve my problem. That's what I need. People will pay a lot of money for things that solve their problems. And so sentence 2, we flat out say, I solved this. And that in their mind gets them to say, how do you do it? Which is them giving you permission to tell them what you do or to pitch them on what you do. That's how this 3-sentence formula works. Hook, line, and sinker. And it will work for you. So let me go back to the formula. And at this point, I want you to have the formula written down word for word. Don't worry about getting it perfect for your business, for your product yet. Just get the formula down. And here's what I promise you, is if you stay till the very end of today's webinar, I'll help you get this right. And I bet, even better yet, it'll pop right into your mind. If you keep engaging with me and stay focused, it'll pop right into your mind exactly how you can use this. Now, I want you to realize what I'm teaching you here with this 3-sentence formula is much more powerful than just LinkedIn. Yes, you should put this in your LinkedIn profile summary, but you want to use this formula in your product descriptions, in your marketing. And if you meet somebody at a conference, say if I meet somebody at a conference, when I met Fred, if I just said I'm a LinkedIn expert, that doesn't open up any doors for him. He's probably thinking, well, LinkedIn really doesn't have that much to do with e-com. But if I said to him, knowing that he's an e-com, well, Fred, you know how e-com people struggle to get more customers from the internet? I solved this. And he's going to be like, really? How do you do it? I'm interested now. And that opens up opportunities for us to talk and do business. That's how this 3-sentence formula works. Hook, line, and sinker to draw your audience in. And it works like a charm on LinkedIn as we're going to continue to build on this. So step 1 is creating that authority, which, by the way, using those media logos, once I show you how to get those so you can have them, you're going to use those in your product descriptions and your web pages and your Facebook ads, not just on LinkedIn. What I'm sharing with you is so much bigger than LinkedIn. I teach it in a LinkedIn world because that's my world, but you can take the stuff and use it in your world. I already mentioned the first bullet point there. We're entering the conversation in the reader's head. Here's another reason why this stacks so well and works so powerfully on LinkedIn, is your big claims are believable when you have proof of the media authority to back them up. Meaning, when you say, I solved this, how do I know you solved it, is what a lot of people naturally think. But when they see, wow, this guy's been on ABC and NBC, it stacks the value. They're much less likely to doubt you. In fact, they're already coming in, trusting and believing you, that you're famous, that you're the expert, that you're the credible. So they're going to believe your I solved this statement when you have those logos. That's how those work together. Type together into the chat box if that's crystal clear how we're leveraging first the perception they're coming in with, and then using this 3-sentence formula. Hook, line, and sinker together. Fantastic. So here's the formula one last time. Make sure you've got the formula at least down right now. And we're going to move on from this. I've got another example in here, but in the interest of time, I think we should go to the next step. There's only 3 steps. You're 2/3 of the way there. So just picture this. This is how this ties together so far. Someone does a search on LinkedIn. It could be a potential customer. It could be a potential promotion partner. It could be the media. You show up in the search results just like you see me here. They choose you because of your picture. And they come in reading your profile different than they ever have before. They come in now feeling that they trust you and you're credible. And then they see your 3-sentence formula, which shows them how you're going to solve their problem and that you understand their world. There's one final piece you need, a call to action. Now, I bet you guys know in your stores and your products and your Shopify world and your Facebook ads that you have to have a call to action, right? You would never run a Facebook ad or a video and not put a call to action in there. You'd never get any calls or any business. You'd be wasting your time. Well, most people don't have a call to action in their LinkedIn profile. On the screen here, you see the 3 most proven calls to action. Write those down. You want to be using all three of these in your LinkedIn profile. Without a call to action, you're not going to get any calls. Yet somehow we just don't think about that when it comes to our LinkedIn. And somehow most LinkedIn experts just don't teach that, the importance of a call to action. This works in any and every niche. Where I've just trained you on, this combination of having a call to action with the 3-sentence formula with the media logos. It works for products, it works for services. And the example I pick here is the highest ticket one I've seen. So these are sales coming in right from the LinkedIn profile without ever needing to talk to these customers at all. Randall's selling $7,000 to $10,000 packages of products and services. If it worked for Randall at that price, this will work for you at your prices. Now, you might be thinking at this point, well, Greg, this is all well and good, what you've shown me so far, but one problem. How am I going to get anyone to see my LinkedIn profile? If you were thinking that or are now having that thought, type a question mark into the chat box. Because it's fair game. You know, what I'm saying here is, aren't you the equivalent of a beautiful billboard out in the middle of nowhere if you write your profile using these 3 steps I've just trained you on, but nobody ever sees it? Fair game, okay? And one of the things you're going to see about me is I'm a straight shooter. I'm not afraid to address the elephant in the room. So I'm going to solve this for you next. And I put this into this 3-sentence formula for you so you can again see the power of how it works. You lead with a question, and the question is a problem you need solved. And when I say I solved this, it gets the person on the other end excited, like, okay, cool, let's solve it. I want to solve that problem. That's the effect you want your customers to have. So let's do it now on LinkedIn. Now that we've got our conversion strategies down pat on LinkedIn, and the beauty of those conversion strategies is you do them once, they pay off forever. The stuff I just showed you, you set that up in your profile once, leave it, and if all you did was that, you'd be making more money from LinkedIn than you are now. So let's go next, though, in how you're going to get views on LinkedIn. And let's start with what converts best to cash. On LinkedIn, you can see who's viewed your profile, and you need to be following up with those people. Now, if you're already aware of this or already doing this, type yes in the chat box. Again, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this if this is something everybody knows. What I'm talking about is, imagine if your Shopify store, you could see every person that visited the store. I'm not talking about retargeting. I'm actually talking about who those people are and like read about them and message them and follow up with them. You can't do that anywhere else in the world other than LinkedIn. And no one lands on your LinkedIn profile by accident. It's physically impossible. If I land on your LinkedIn profile, it means I'm interested in doing business with you. And that makes the people viewing your profile the most qualified leads in the world. So you're leaving money on the table if you're not following. Now, it's about 70% of you told me you're already aware of this or doing this. That's about average. With the free account on LinkedIn, by the way, you can see the last 5 people who viewed your profile. With the paid account, you can see everyone who's viewed your profile for the last 90 days. You can start off with the free account with these strategies I'm teaching you, but as you start to get more views, you're going to want to upgrade to the paid account. You always get more functionality when you pay for something. There's always a free version and a paid version. That's just how life works. But you get more value when you pay for something. So what I'm about to show you next is how to leverage this trend. The trend, write this down in your notes. The trend is follow up with who's viewed you. 70% of you that are here told me you're already doing this. I'd say on LinkedIn overall, about 2/3 of LinkedIn members overall are already doing this. They know they need to be following up with who's viewed them. So wait till I show you this sneaky, simple trick for getting your exact target audience to view your LinkedIn profile. Here it is. And this is how I've built my email list to over 160,000 subscribers. Those of you that said you want 16,000 subscribers, this is it. On LinkedIn, you're going to use the search feature to pull up your exact target audience. So whoever that might be. And if you're selling physical products to consumers, your target audience on LinkedIn would be small business owners. Those are easy people to target. They're people with money. And remember, every business owner is also a consumer, right? Every business owner cares about their relationship, cares about their weight loss. So they're all still consumers, just better yet, they're consumers with business. So if you're B2C, you would use this strategy to pull up small business owners. If you have another target audience, you would pull up that target audience. And here's what you're going to do. Very simple. View their LinkedIn profile. Now, if you're already starting to get where I'm going with this, tell me in the chat box. What's going to happen when you view their LinkedIn profile? They come back and view you, right? They're going to come back and view you. Now, what's going to happen when they view you? They're going to land on that 3-step conversion strategies I've just trained you on, right? So they're going to see you with the media logos, because you're going to have those. They're going to read your 3-sentence formula about how you solve the problem. And they're going to land on your call to action and be ready to do business with you. The key to making this work is congruency. Remember you wrote that down? In my marketing agency, which specializes in using LinkedIn, what I'll do is for a 2-week period, I'll write my LinkedIn profile that says I specialize in helping e-com businesses on LinkedIn. And then I go view e-com business owners. And then the e-com business owners come back and view me. They land on my profile. They see that I'm this authority figure. They see I specialize in helping e-com businesses succeed on LinkedIn. And they hire my agency to help them do LinkedIn. Do you get the power of that congruency? Type congruency again in the chat box if you see how this works. If you see how you can be making money with this. So I find for every 100 profiles you view, on average, 7 will come back and view you. I'm a straight shooter with you. I'm not going to say that, if you view 100, they're all going to come back and view you. It doesn't work out like that. On average, 7 will come back and see who you are. So those are 7 highly targeted leads that are falling into your call to action and congruent, because you're only going to go view the people that you write your LinkedIn profile to specifically to speak to. Now, this works especially well when you have those authority logos in your profile picture. You see that picture in the bottom right corner of me? That's what people see. So they see, who's this guy Greg that's been in the media that's looking at me? And then they come back and check me out, and they see that I specialize in helping people just like them. You get how I know I have the inside track on who to write my profile saying I'm specializing in, because I know who I'm going to go out and view every day. The congruency is what makes this so powerful. So the question I have for you guys at this point is this what you think I do all day? I told you that this is exactly how I've built my email list to over 100,000 subscribers, 116,000 subscribers right now. Do you think I sit around viewing profiles all day? No, I showed you the pictures of my mom and I in Fiji, my girlfriend and I on the cruise. If they're doing the same thing over and over again, there's always a better way to do it, right? And that was one of my big promises for today, was I would show you an automated way to get people with $100,000 a year in income, people who have money to buy your products and services, buying from you. And that's where we're going with this tonight. Now, LinkedIn is also a search engine. So yes, I've shown you the importance of the logos, but I haven't quite shown you how you're going to get the logos yet. We're going there next. And because search engine optimization inside of LinkedIn is my true niche specialty. I mean, I'm specialized even within LinkedIn. As you can see, Fast Company magazine here, this quote from them says, I'm the nation's top expert at search engine optimization inside of LinkedIn. So this is exactly how we do it for our clients. It's not something I normally teach. These are the 5 places that you need to put your keywords for you to get to the top of the search results within LinkedIn. Once you're at the top of the search results, now potential customers will find you, potential partners, and the media. You should be starting to see how using this search optimization is how you're going to be able to get on TV. The media loves LinkedIn. I'll show you some proof of that in just a few minutes, besides all the case studies of myself getting into the media. Take a look at this case study. This is a client and friend of mine, Vivica Von Rosen. I got her to the top of the search results for the phrase social media speaker. And all she did was put her keywords in those same places I just showed you. As a result, she landed a $10,000 keynote speaking opportunity. How many of you would like to be paid $10,000, an all-expense-paid trip to Cabo, to talk about how you set up your Shopify store, or to talk about how you do what you did? You see, the corporate world and the business world loves LinkedIn. This is where they come to get their speakers, and they're the ones with the big budgets. But they're not finding you. You're missing out on these speaking opportunities because you're not there where they're looking. But it's easy to get there. I've just shown you the first step of getting there, and there's only 2 steps. Here's the second step. You've got to be connected to the person who's searching. LinkedIn is built on the concept of 3 degrees of separation. This means your network extends exponentially 3 levels. If you get what this means and how it impacts you, type the number 3 into the chat box. If you're 100% crystal clear, if you're not, put a question mark in the chat box, and I'll spend another minute on this because this is really, really important to your success. Most people on LinkedIn are in like this before and after case study here. They have about 177 connections. They have about 250,000 people in your network. A lot of people come to me and say, Greg, I've got 2 million people in my network, which means you're 10 times over the average. And am I doing good though? Well, what most people don't realize is in the US alone, there's over 200 million users now. In the US alone. Worldwide, there's over 450 million users. So if you have 2 million people in your network, and there's 200 million people in the US, what percentage of people searching on LinkedIn cannot find you? Only 2% can find you, really only 1%. So 98 or 99% cannot find you. You are omitted from their search results. This is not like Google, this is not like Amazon, where you get to search through everything. You only get to search, the searcher only gets to search through their network and 3 levels deep of their network. So if you don't share a connection with their network, you're left out of the search results. This is the big reason LinkedIn's not working for most of you, and things don't land in your lap. If you want deals to land in your lap, you've got to build out your network into the multi-millions. You've probably heard about people that have had great business deals, media requests, just inbox them on LinkedIn. I'm sure you've seen these stories because they're out there by the hundreds. It's not just people like me. It's the people that have invested in building their network. Great jobs have landed them, great business partners. But it's not happening for you, or you wouldn't be here today. And the reason it's not happening for you is you just haven't built your network out into the multi-millions at all yet. Now, that might sound like a daunting task. So, would you like the shortcut? Give me a yes in the chat box if you'd like a shortcut to building your network into the multi-millions. With your permission, I'm going to show you an easy way to immediately grow your LinkedIn network so that instead of being in almost no search results, you're now in almost all the search results. The shortcut is to connect with what's called super connectors. Now, I'm an example of a super connector. And what you're seeing on the screen here is the number of people that are in the first 2 levels of my network on LinkedIn. Now, the second you connect with me, boom, you're connected with me. All of these people, my first and second level, join your network. So a little light bulb should be going off right now. Okay, I get it. Before I had 2 million people in all 3 levels of my network. I connect with Greg, I just went up to 6 million people. Right? If you get that, type super connector in the chat box. If you found 5 more people like Greg, you'd have 20 million people added to your network. And if you happen to hit the jackpot and find the top 50 or 100 super connectors, you'd have access to all of the people on LinkedIn like I do. So how do we find these super connectors, right? Well, LinkedIn used to allow you to search by number of connections. You see this screenshot I'm showing you? However, LinkedIn took away this ability a few years ago. There's now no longer a way to sort your results by number of connections. Why did LinkedIn do this? Because the people that were connected to the super connectors had access to their entire database, and they were showing up in the search results every time. They were winning all of the deals, all of the partnerships, all of the media opportunities kept going to these people that were connected with the super connectors. And LinkedIn needed to level the playing field. This is years ago when they went public. They needed everybody to get a slice of the business so that people would all use LinkedIn. So they took away the ability to find the super connectors, which should be the ultimate proof of how powerful it is when you're connected to these super connectors. It's almost like a secret society because they can't take away your connections. I have them. I know who they are. I'm connected with them. And I continue to win deals, but they're not allowing anybody else to find them anymore. So that's the bad news. The good news is, as one of your bonuses for staying till the very end today, because I realize we're already about an hour in, one of your bonuses, I'm going to show you how you can get connected to the top 50 super connectors on LinkedIn. When you have these super connectors, 50 of them, now you've got access to over 100 million people. That unlocks LinkedIn. So think about who's searching for you. It's potential customers and clients, people that will buy your products and services. They will literally land on your LinkedIn and buy from you. When you combine these super connectors with the first part of today's training on how to use a call to action in your profile. Book deals, this is how my book deal landed in my lap. You'd like to have a paid book deal where you work with someone like Jack Canfield? Conferences, I showed you the case study of how the speaking deal landed in Vivica's lap. And here's the real kicker, the media. This is how this is all going to come full circle. You see, the media, all of these media outlets that I'm showing you here, now consider LinkedIn their number one source for business content. Why wouldn't it be? It's the biggest database in the world of professionals. This is right from PR Magazine. When they want to run a story on an e-com business or on any product or service, the number one place they go to now is LinkedIn. But they're not finding you. I have more radio interviews. I don't even do radio interviews anymore. I have another couple LinkedIn friends that I forward them on to because I get so many inquiries from just being connected to the people in the media. Just like your potential customers can't find you, the media can't find you. You're omitted from their search results because you're not connected to them. So the search optimization part is important. Those 5 places I showed you to put your keywords. But if you don't have the right connections, it's not going to do any good. You're going to be optimized when only your own friends are searching. That's not really going to help you at all. You need to invest in building out your network. Getting connected with these media connections is another way to unlock your access on LinkedIn. And it's another thing I'll show you how to do today. Would you like that? Would you like it if I introduced you to the editors at each of these media outlets? Give me a yes in the chat box if you see how this is the home run, right? This is the home run payoff. And it's a deals landing in your lap because they're searching on LinkedIn for us. It's not like you have to go pitch them. That doesn't work anyways. They know what they want. You just have to be connected to them and they'll find you. And once you're in the media, well, you get all those eyeballs, right? That was one of my big promises today. I'd show you how to get millions of eyeballs, but you also now get to use those logos. I saw some people asking in the chat box, can we use these logos? Well, let me give you the honest answer about this. If you've been seen on a web page for that media outlet, then of course you can say, I was seen there. You're stating a fact. You're always allowed to state a fact. So you got to be there. You got to get there. And LinkedIn search optimization is your way to get there. But the payoff is huge. The payoff is that authority, You're going to create a reality for people that they have to buy for you. Just like my daughter's reality is unshakable that sharks are scary. People will have, your customers will have an unshakable reality that your products are the best. And we're going to get the millions of eyeballs. Now, yes, the media is looking for experts to get quotes for their articles on LinkedIn, but there's a catch-22 that comes with this. Even if the media was to find you, even if I introduced you to all my editor contacts and they needed to run a story on an e-com business or a story on your products or services, even better yet, right? The stuff you sell, if they wanted to talk about that in the media and they ran that search on LinkedIn and they found you, tell me in the chat box, why is it they probably still wouldn't contact you right now the way you are set up on LinkedIn? What is it that they would see in you that would make them contact you or not contact you? And why would they probably choose somebody else? It's not just about your profile. It's that you don't have any media experience showing on your LinkedIn profile yet. You are what's called a risk to the media world. The media editor, his job is to eliminate risks. If they put you on TV and you start doing something inappropriate, you start plugging your webpage or your store link in the wrong ways, that media editor that picked you is going to get fired. And he's not risking his job for somebody that's never been in the media before. You get that? Type catch-22 if you get the problem. The problem is you can't be on TV unless you've been in the media before. But that's like the chicken and the egg scenario, right? It's like, how is that even fair? Like, how can you say I can't be in the media unless I've been in the media? Like, how do you ever first get in the media, right? And that's why you keep seeing these same people on TV all the time. Now, as a case in point, I would have never gotten on this nationally syndicated television show on NBC without prior media credentials. This was aired in 13 networks. It took an hour of my time to go down there. It's a 5-minute clip. I'm still getting customers from YouTube from it. And 3 to 4 million people saw it. Tell me in the chat box, what would that be worth in terms of dollars for the media to get you in front of 3 to 4 million people? Give me some dollar numbers in the chat box. Priceless? Exactly. Thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions. And it's not, because this isn't an advertisement. This is the media interviewing me, saying that I'm the best at what I do. And then I get to use that clip and use that logo for the rest of my life. Priceless. But I never would have gotten on TV unless I first somehow showed them that I was not a risk. So how did you do it, Greg? How did you break into the inner circle? I'm going to give you next the secret strategy to how I did it. I used what's called a media citation. Write that phrase down in your notes, media citation. I had never heard of this. And I'm so glad that I did learn about this. It's one of the most powerful strategies in business there is. So what a media citation is a pay-to-play strategy where you're leveraging a media person, like a publicist relationship, and they get you quoted into the web page for that outlet. Let me show you some examples of media citations. So here's some examples of coaches and trainers that are using this. So what this is they got, and consultants, they went out and got quoted. They paid a publicist a couple $1,000s. The publicist got the quote put onto, in this case, look at this top left one, ABC Arkansas, okay? Maybe not a whole bunch of eyeballs at Arkansas, but you know what? It's on an ABC webpage. Now you can legally and ethically say, as seen on ABC. Now this isn't a press release, this is a citation. Press releases don't last. That's the problem with them. They have a short life in Google, and a citation, on the other hand, is something that's permanent. Because if you're going to use those logos, you've got to have the proof to back it up that you've been there. So here's some more examples of real business owners using the media citation to market their fitness products, their financial planning products, real estate products, a chiropractor. I want to show you real services that use this. And I want to show you how people then use these logos in their product listings. Now, if you're going to get a media citation, you want to get it on one of these big four networks, ABC, NBC, CBS, or Fox. Those are the ones that are the most recognized. Once you're quoted into one of those networks, you can then use that logo ongoing forever for you and for any businesses or any products you're ever a part of. Now, you benefit from these media citations by creating authority. And this works no matter who in the world you are. I hear from a lot of people, well, Greg, why would the media want to interview me? How am I ever going to get little old me into business? I'm just starting out. I'm just a behind the scenes, person running my storefront online. Well, so am I. I'm just a behind the scenes guy too. And the only difference is I've created a perception that I'm somebody important because I'm in the media. You deserve to have that same perception about you. And you can when you use this media citation strategy. So don't let a limiting belief hold you back that I'm not worthy, that my products aren't good enough, that I'm just starting out. No matter who you are, no matter where in the world you're located, you benefit from these media authority logos when you get a media citation. Now, only once you're cited on their website can you then say as seen on and use those logos. Do not use the logos if you've not actually been there. That will get you into trouble. And this is not just limited to LinkedIn. You can use these logos in your Facebook ads, your web pages, your business cards, all of your marketing. More importantly, once you get a media citation, you're now a quoted expert. You now have something your competition doesn't have. You're perceived as the authority. You're going to stand out from the crowd in the LinkedIn search results. If you understand the power of a citation and why you would want a citation, type citation into the chat box. It starts with a C, C-I-T-A-T-I-O-N, citation. This is how you use the citation to create your credibility, to create the perception that you're the best. Once you have this, you break into the inner circle on LinkedIn. Without this, you're seen as a risk. You'll never get on TV without first showing them that you are safe to put on TV. Type TV into the chat box. If you understand how the citation is what breaks you into the inner circle, it breaks down the catch-22. It shows them that you're somebody they can trust and put on TV. So this is how everything I'm training you on here today stacks together. You need to have those connections so the media can find you on LinkedIn. But in order to get them to choose you, you also need to have those logos. I will go so far as to say having these logos and using a media citation, having this authority, it is the most important thing you can do on LinkedIn. Without this, you just have a regular picture. And the odds are they're not even going to check out your profile, but if they do, they're going to be skeptical when they check it out. Instead of all those feelings you told me. Instead of they're going to choose you first because you have the logos, and they're going to choose you with trust, with authority, with credibility. If you want further proof that authority matters, take a look at what Frank Kern said after I consulted with him. This is from the stage at Traffic and Conversion Summit. Fred and I were both there. Frank said, positioning yourself as an authority is the single most important thing you can do to increase your perceived value to your marketplace. And he's exactly right. And Fred knows this too. It's a big reason he has me here today, showing you how to create this authority for your business, for your Shopify, for your e-com store. Now, you might be thinking at this point, what about saturation? Tell me in the chat box why this is not ever really going to be a problem. I know we have some people here that are very intelligent, and so it should be crystal clear to you. And it's not just that not everybody knows about a media citation. It's not just that not everybody can afford to do it. It's not just that not everyone will take action and do this even after learning about it today. Those are all good things, true. But the real reason saturation is never a problem, the real reason that it is, I'll hear from people, oh, Greg, if I can just pay to get in the media, Doesn't that somehow mean that everybody will do this? Doesn't that somehow dilute the people that have been on the real TV? I'll hear that in marketing circles, but the reality is obvious. There's no way we could ever saturate the business world. LinkedIn users, it's impossible to know about this. But in the business world, this is a reality that's created based on the perception in the consumer world as well. Now, here's where this gets really, really interesting. This is probably the most important slide in all of today's training. Take a look at this email I got on LinkedIn shortly after I added the logos to my profile picture on LinkedIn. And let's read with me on this here. It says, "Hi, Greg. I noticed the media logos for ABC, Fox, CBS, and NBC on your profile picture. If you don't mind, I was wondering, how can I get those from my profile picture so I can create more authority for my business?" When I got this message, a light bulb went off in my head. Tell me in the chat box if you see the same opportunity that I saw. If that light bulb is going off for you right now. What this is, tell me what you see. What this is I'm not even trying to sell the logos. I just have them. And this guy is messaging me, asking me if I can hook him up with the logos. You get that? That's powerful to me. Because in all of our businesses, you and I work really hard at sales and marketing, right? The part of being in a business where people just see something I have and then they want to buy it too, I would have told you that that just doesn't even exist. But I locked into it here by doing this media citations, putting them in my LinkedIn profile, which was my concept to do that. And next thing you know, this guy wants to throw money at me. Now, I got to tell you something. At this point, I'm pretty busy running my LinkedIn business, just like you're probably pretty busy with your e-com business or whatever your business is. So I had this thought, but I was smart enough to recognize it was a limiting belief. I had this thought that, I don't know about this media logo thing. You know, it's a whole other business. I'm busy already running my business. But then I realized, you know what, if the money's there, if this is really that easy, where people just see it and want it, I'm going to get in this business. It's a no-brainer to be in a business where you don't have to do any of the work and you make $700 every time you hook somebody up with these logos. All I did was add a very simple 3-sentence pre-sale statement to my LinkedIn profile, just like I trained you on earlier today. And now the people that see me on LinkedIn see that I sell the media authority, and I sell over $1 million a year worth of media authority with this. Could you just copy and paste this and put this in your LinkedIn profile and sell media authority the same exact way I do? Give me a yes in your chat box if you see how easy this is going to be to model what I do to make money with this, and how this is going to be a turnkey revenue stream for you that you're going to use to finance your dreams, to be able to travel like I do, to be able to scale your e-com business. This is how I do it, is I have this first subject for my main business here, and then I have a second 3-sentence formula offering the media authority. That's how you can do it too. So I've shown you today the 3 things I promised you. How to create expert authority to get them to choose you by using media citations to get those logos. I then showed you how to get into TV or print in front of millions by showing up in the search results on LinkedIn and having those logos so they don't see you as a risk. And I showed you how to get thousands of buyer leads effortlessly by simply viewing their profile on LinkedIn. We've answered this $1 million question here today. So right now, I would ask you to consider what you haven't considered yet. Yes, you've got some amazing information from today's webinar, and choice number 1 of 2 is you could go at it alone just based on this amazing information. Or choice number 2, you could take a look at something exclusive I've put together just for this webinar with Fred's people to give you the most unfair advantages possible on LinkedIn, and for you to team up with me to cash in on selling this media authority. The obvious answer is number 2. And that's why I'd like to introduce you to what I call Linked Inception. So is Linked Inception a training course? Not quite. Is it a mastermind? Is it a coaching program? A done-for-you program where everything I've covered here today gets done for you? Or is it a software that might automate everything I've shown you here today? The reason I say not quite to each of these things is that Linked Inception includes all of these things. Let's start with the training. What I'm going to show you is exactly what to say and do to follow up with people on LinkedIn. We talked about the importance of following up with those people that view their profiles. They don't land there by accident. But you got to say the right thing to them to convert them into buyers. So that's what I'm going to cover in the course. It's a 30-minute course. You'll be up and running in 30 minutes because I know you're busy running your store, you're busy running your business. You don't have a lot of time to spend hours on a course. That's why the rest of this is done for you. Now, also, when you sign up before this webinar special expires, you're going to get introductions from me to all of the top super connectors on LinkedIn. Remember, you currently cannot be found on LinkedIn because you're only connected to 2% of the LinkedIn community. Once you add super connectors like me, your network explodes into the multi-millions. So I'm going to personally introduce you to the top 100 super connectors. LinkedIn has made it impossible to find these super connectors. Even if you did find them, the odds are they would not accept an invitation from you. Who are you? Some stranger that wants access to their millions of connections? We've worked out a deal amongst the super connectors that will accept invitations from each other's clients. And so that's your ticket to the inner circle of super connectors. This will allow you to grow your network into the multi-millions. In addition to me introducing you to the super connectors, I'm going to introduce you to the editors on LinkedIn at all of these media outlets. These are the same media outlets I've been featured in. You potentially could be in all of these just like I am. Any one of these, if all you got was your business written up in one of these, like the New York Times or Time Magazine, if they just mentioned you, that would be worth millions to your business. But they can't find you at all right now because you're not connected to them on LinkedIn. I'm going to introduce you to all of these media connections in addition to the super connectors. Next, you get our media preparation training course. This is a second 30-minute training that shows you exactly what to do and say to get the most out of your TV, radio, and magazine appearances. So many of our clients were getting onto TV from doing this, we had to add this module in. Because what was happening is you were getting on TV and you were blowing it, meaning you weren't maybe ever mentioning your website. You were waiting for them to ask you about it. You got to do things in the right way. It's very simple when you know how to do it. I'm very experienced at doing this, and I break it down. I keep it really simple for you. 30 minutes of bonus training on media preparation so that you get the most out of those TV appearances you're going to get from our LinkedIn connections. Now, it gets even better. Remember how important and valuable it is to get placed into the major media? Well, my team and I will do it for you. We'll guarantee you placement within 7 business days into all 4 of the major television networks. Rather than you paying a publicist thousands of dollars to do this, we're going to do it for you and guarantee it for all 4 of these networks. So you'll be able to use these logos in all of your marketing, for all of your products, for now and forever. Once you're on all 4 of these, you have that agreement that you are the best, and you eliminate your competition. You create a reality that you are the best. Just like my daughter's reality is created that the sharks are scary, that's the reality people will have of you from now on and forever. And media success snowballs. Once you get those logos, now you're no longer a risk. This is how I wound up getting written up in Fast Company magazine. This is how I wound up getting picked up on TV. They're not going to pick you up right now, even if they found you, because you're on the outside looking in. You need to have those logos to show them you're not a risk. You know what you're doing. That's how you break into the inner circle. It's how book deals come to you. So it's guaranteed placement, and to make this a complete done for you, we'll even do the Photoshop work for you. So we'll add the logos to your LinkedIn profile picture so that you can use them on LinkedIn, on Facebook, your fan pages, your marketing, your web pages. This is going to get more people to choose you forever. Take a look at these case studies. These are people just like you that exploded their business by adding those media logos to their LinkedIn profile and to their web pages. It pays off huge because perception is reality. And it's a perception of trust, of expert, of credibility. All of those things they'll feel about you and your products and services now once you have those media logos. Now, the icing on the cake. Remember earlier, I showed you how just having these logos can get people wanting to hire you to do this. They will literally throw money at you on LinkedIn to do this because they know how valuable it is. And they'll see that you have it and that you must have had some way of getting it. So envision the opportunity when you can offer an authority package to anyone in your LinkedIn network or anywhere, any of your customers. Well, you can. And best of all, my team will do all the work for you. So this is completely turnkey for you. You get someone that's interested in this, in the logos, you can them over to us, we do all the work, you make the lion's share of the money. So as an authorized reseller, your clients and you are able to use these logos in all of their marketing. This is not about convincing people to use LinkedIn. This is about creating authority for any business. I showed you tons of examples of businesses today that are using this successfully, the media citation strategy. So here's how this works. You charge your client, your connection on LinkedIn, your friend. They would love to get into major media for their business. $1,000, which is a tremendous deal for all four of those television networks. You then turn around and pay us $300 to do the fulfillment for you. And I'm a straight shooter with you. I'm going to tell you, I make money on that too, which means we're in this business together now. Then profit $700 in pure profit. Type 700 in the chat box if you see how you would make $700. How easy this is to make $700. Fantastic. Want proof? Take a look at this. Jovi Perez, just days after he started with us, got two deals. One for $1,000, which is our suggested minimum price you charge for this. But now he's raised his price to $1,500 and $2,500. Why? Because public charge $2,000 a month. We've got this down to a science. It's not uncommon for some of our doing $30,000 deals at $700 a pop. So what's the investment to get in on this linked Inception, Greg? It sounds amazing. I'm seeing that in the chat box from some of you. Well, let's set the baseline at, if you were to hire a publicist for 3 months, they would tell you they cannot guarantee you where they might get you. And it's likely going to cost you $2,000 a month. That's the average rate. If you wanted a great publicist, you might pay $5,000 a month. The average publicist is $2,000 a month, and they can't guarantee you anything. This is guaranteed placement into all four of the most powerful, well-known networks in the world. So just on what this would do for you, for your products and services and Shopify store, we've got a true baseline of $6,000 of value here. But let's look at the return on the investment. Our resellers regularly close deals at $700 profit apiece. That means if you did just one deal a week from just having these logos in your profile picture on LinkedIn, you would bring in $36,000 a year. So a $6,000 investment to make $36,000, I'll do that every time, and I know you would too. So let's take a look at the value of what you're getting here. You're getting done-for-you citations for yourself. The ability to use those logos for every product, service, or business you're ever a part of forever. A legit $6,000 value. Then you're getting the ability to resell these media logos where you make $700 every time and don't do any of the work. And you're getting introductions to the top 50 media editors so that you can be found and have media inquiries landing in your lap. Plus, you're getting introductions to the super connectors, and you're getting my best training, and I didn't even mention the 5 coaching webinars. So I hold your hand and make sure you succeed with this through these group coaching webinars. And the media success training. All right, here's the deal. It would be a great deal to get your product, service, book, or print into the major media. To invest $4,997 for this program because it's training, it's coaching, it's done for you. Oh, and there's a software I haven't even had time to show you yet. Just based on getting your business into Time Magazine, into TV, $5,000 would be well worth it. Not even counting the reseller opportunity. So the special offer of $19.97 is a tremendous deal because the value of this program is worth 10 times this to launch your business with media exposure and LinkedIn. You told me earlier that just the authority alone would be worth thousands, millions, and priceless to any business. You're getting this exposure and this authority for you, and you're now in a business where you're selling something that's priceless. People are going to be happy to give you $1,000 for this, and you make $700 every time. When we roll this program out to Facebook ads, the special offer will be $19.97. But for you, because I know you're the kind of person I want to partner with, you're here tonight investing your time with me, you're a follower of Fred, who I know and respect, I'm going to give you the best deal possible and knock off even more. And understand why I'm doing this. Because I make money when you make money with this. Every time you get somebody buying these media logos, I'm making more money. And because I know you're an action taker, because you're here tonight, I'm going to wind up making more money with you in the long term if I give you the best deal possible. So here it is. 2 easy payments of $297 gets you everything we've talked about here today. That's less than $600 total. Just one authority package you hook up a friend with, you make $700. You more than cover your investment. You're in the profits already. You could literally call anyone you know in business right now and tell them that you have a chance to hook them up and get them into all 4 of these media outlets for $1,000, and they would jump at it. I'll show you some case studies of that in just a moment. Now, there is a catch with this super special deal, though. As you guys have seen, I'm a straight shooter with you. I'm not afraid to address the elephant in the room. When something seems too good to be true, it usually is, right? There's always a catch. And there is a catch. Here it is. The catch is this special deal for everything is available to a very limited number of enrollments only. I'm giving you this special pricing so that I can make more money together with you in the long run. But I'm not going to be able to give this special pricing to everyone. This is a done-for-you service. We physically cannot take on all the people that are here right now that are going to want to do this. Fred did a great job of packing today's webinar, and I've delivered lots of value for you. And it's because I'll be coaching you and doing all this for you that we have to limit this to those of you that act now. So what you need to do right now is you need to go now to linkedinception.com/deal. This is getting you this special deal. This is just for fans of Fred, just for those of you that are here tonight. linkedinception.com/deal gets you everything we've talked about here tonight. I want to go through the bonuses next. We've got some special bonuses that are going to be included for you. And then I'll get into the Q&A. And I also want to point out, when you get to the web page, which is linkedinception.com/deal, you will see the bonuses listed there. You're seeing everything you've gotten clearly put in writing. And you'll see two options when you scroll down that page. There's the 2-pay of $297, and we'll knock another $100 off if you decide to pay all at once today. This is rewarding you for stepping up in full. So less than $500 gets you everything we've talked about here today. So it's easy to get started. You're going to click on one of these two add to cart buttons, and then you're going to pull up the first screen of our 2-screen checkout process where you put in your first name, last name, and email. And then you're going to pull up our merchant processing screen. Now, we use PayPal as our bank, but it does not mean that you need to pay with PayPal when you're doing the full pay. If you're going to do the 2 payments of $297, PayPal forces you to use PayPal for that. But for the full pay, you can pay with any major credit card. You can bypass PayPal. You would want to click on the link. You see where this gray arrow is I've added here? That's exactly what you want to click on to pay with a credit card and bypass PayPal. PayPal also has something called Bill Me Later. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but that allows you to finance this even further. That's another option that they offer. So you're getting everything for one payment of $497 when you go now to linkedinception.com/deal. The success stories with this go on and on. There's every reason for you to be next to succeed. Take a look at Dion. He added those logos. He says, "Hi, everyone. Great to finally be here. Last few days have been eye-opening. I have a client who's ready to buy already." Eric on the right says, "Sold my first package." He hasn't even gotten his logos back yet from us. Holly on the bottom says, "I had someone message me on Facebook to find out how I did it." People are going to see this and want it from you. Now, this linked Inception program comes with a complete 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee, which is unheard of considering that this is a done-for-you service. This is me literally putting my money where my mouth is, because I cannot get back the time and money we're going to spend to go get you these citations. But once you have these citations and you add them to your logo, to your LinkedIn profile, if for any reason in 30 days you are not completely satisfied, just let us know and we'll refund your money in its entirety. I do ask that you use the logos for 30 days on LinkedIn so that you can see how this really works. But remember, it's a done-for-you photoshopping, so we'll add the logos to your picture. All you do is swap out your picture and your profile. And in that 30 days, I am so sure that you're going to see more business coming into your main business and that you're going to have people wanting to buy this from you. That's why I'm willing to make this guarantee. So the real risk is on me. And that's because we make serious money with this authority business. And in order to grow, I need you. We're becoming partners in this business. So let's recap everything you are getting for one single investment of $497 today when you go now to linkedinception.com/deal. You're getting done-for-you citations for yourself. This alone is a $6,000 value. Really, it's a priceless value in terms of return on investment. Then you're getting the ability to resell this done-for-you media citations. You're getting introductions to the super connectors and the media editors. You're getting my best LinkedIn training, 5 coaching webinars with me, and the media success training, and you're backed by a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. It literally doesn't get any better than this. Space is very limited in this. You need to act now. You need to go to linkedinception.com/deal. Pull up the website and claim your spot as I tell you about the software next. Remember earlier, I showed you a simple way to get exposure to your profile. You just go view other people's profiles, and then a percentage of them comes back and views you. The only problem with this is it takes a lot of manual work. This is not how I built my list to 160,000 people, viewing profiles manually all day long. I don't sit around in my living room doing this. No. We've built the software that with a few clicks of a button will view 1,000 profiles per day of your target audience. Now imagine that. If you view 1,000 small business owners a day, on average, 70 will come back and view you. And of that 70, some are going to buy your main products and services. Even if you're in business to consumer, those people still want relationship help. They still want fitness help. They still want things for their pets. Some of them are going to buy that. But more importantly, some of them are going to buy the media authority logos from you now. And this is push button traffic on LinkedIn that's targeting people with money. So remember, with the software, for every 100 people you view, 7 will view you back. The software is a browser plugin, so it runs on a PC or a Mac, and it will view up to 1,000 profiles per day. That's LinkedIn's maximum. That's where the API shuts off. And I'm going to be totally honest with you here. If LinkedIn did not have that API shut off, I would not be sharing this software. I run this software on 12 computers. I have an assistant who runs it on 12 computers. That's how we do over $1 million a year with this. You're going to do the exact same thing I do. And you can scale up to 12 computers someday as you want. I don't want to have a whole bunch of employees doing this on hundreds of computers. That's why I need you. And that's why I'm opening this up as a partnership deal. I make money when you make money. I need people that are serious about doing this, that see the potential in selling this media authority, that are going to make money, double dip by making money for your main business, your Shopify store, your e-com store. You'll send those small business owners that have plenty of money over there, and you'll be selling the media authority. We're in this together. This is what makes this different than anything else that's out there. I have a fully vested in your interest in your success. Have you ever seen these webinars where people teach a bunch of things and give you a bunch of tools, and you wonder, it sounds really good, but if it's that good, why don't they just do it? Why don't they just make all the money themselves? And I know people will tell you, oh, I love to give back. I love to help other people, which I believe they do sincerely do that, just like I love to do that. But why would they create competition for themselves? This is different. This software shuts off at 1,000 people. I can't grow. If you recall my financials, I'll show them to you again. I've hit a plateau the last 3 years at $2 million a year. I'm not going to get to a $10 million company by myself unless I hire employees, or better yet, do it like this where we have partners. I don't want to have a bunch of employees. I like hanging out with my mom and my girlfriend and traveling the world. Here's exactly how the software works. You literally just press the start button, and it goes and views 1,000 people per day of your target audience. These aren't random views. You're going to use the search feature here you see in the middle. You're going to pull up your exact perfect target audience. If you don't know who your target audience is, I can help you with that. You should know that. You need to know who your target audience is. On LinkedIn, it's going to be all people with money, which is great for any business, any products or services. That's who you're going to go view with the software. And then on average, 7% are going to come back and view you. Now, when they're viewing you, you're going to put in your profile the exact same wording I use. I give it to you in the course. You can see it in my LinkedIn profile right here on the screen. You're going to say the exact same thing I say. So it's not like you have to learn how to sell this. It's not like you have to do anything differently. You literally are going to copy and paste and sell it exactly the same way I do. Now, are you going to make $1 million doing this? Maybe if you scaled up to 12 to 20 computers like I do. Let's get you making $700 a week first. That's good money. That's $36,000 a year just running the software. It's very common results. Let's look at some of those case studies for people who are doing that. And remember, often people will just throw money at you. Here's a case study. This is Davin Hancock. He's a chef. He has a Shopify store where he sells products to chefs. And he also offers the media authority to these chefs. Now, of course, his Shopify store sells these cooking products to everyone, but on LinkedIn, he was smart about it. I coached him on how to go target chefs. Look at the responses that he's got here. These are all people with their phone number saying, please. These are other chefs that have seen Davin got the logos, and they're like, man, can you get me those logos? Look at all the part that's blacked out on all of these is a phone number. They're saying, call me and take my credit card, please. Each one of these is $700. And look at the date. Let's start here, the 27th, the 24th, the 24th, the 24th. We worked on this for about a week. Most of these are from the 24th. And these are people all wanting to spend $1,000 to get in the media. He said that right up front in the message. And I give you the message. You copy and paste and send the same message, and you make $700 every time. If you want more proof, when we first rolled out the software, we had 14 sales in 7 days. 14 times 700 in 7 days by just running the software every day. Now, you do have to do your part. You have to run the software every day. It's not going to run itself. You got to go in and press the start button. Here's my financials again to show you proof of what I've made doing this. This is what I do. This is not something I teach. This is what I do. And what I want you to notice, 2013, 2014, 1.9. We had some growth between those years. 2015, we were at 1.9 again. Same thing with 2016. We just fell under 2 million. I can't get to the next level without you. That's why I'm doing this tonight. My money doesn't come from teaching this stuff. My money comes from doing this stuff. And I need you to get to the next level. So let's take a look at these success stories. These are people just like you who are on a webinar just like this, took a leap of faith and went for it, and look at the success they're having. Natalie on the left says, hi everyone, here's a copy of the Facebook message we sent out to get our first 2 clients for media citations. This is just as easy to do on Facebook as it is on LinkedIn. Joel on the top right says, I just sold another deal this afternoon. My initial cost of enrolling in your program is now fully paid for. This is a heartfelt thanks and a testimonial that your system works if you work it. Maggie in the bottom left here says, just had someone call me because I referred a client to them for services and ended up selling my first media package. Love it when they come to me. Working in my PJs again. And Michael says, I ran the viewer twice. So 2 days into this, you ran the viewer twice and got a hit already. Look what they said. It says, hello, Michael. I saw you visited my profile. I did the same. I'm curious about your statement regarding being recognized and like to learn more. People just see that you have this and they want it. This I thought was quite brilliant from Noel, who is in Canada. And by the way, this program works no matter where in the world you're based. If we have some people here from other countries, I'd love to hear from you and speak to you personally at this point in the webinar. But take a look at what Noel did. Besides being from another country, he made $19.97 for this. This is lead generation on autopilot. Other LinkedIn experts are raving about what the software does as well. Here is exactly how you make money with this, just to be crystal clear. You charge the client $1,000. All right, you collect the money up front. You have your customer's info. You don't even need to ever give us that. You submit their info for their citation. You then pay us $300, of which includes profit margins for my company. We do all the work. I'm not training you on how to do this. It's a lot of complicated work, but I've got a team that's trained on how to do this already. You pocket $700 in pure profit from one single client. And this is a fun business to be in. It's a fun business because you do it once and it pays off forever. Your conversion rates go up instantly. This isn't like you have to wait for this to kick in. The second you add those logos to your store, to your product listing, to your Facebook ad, you're going to start getting better results because you're going to have more authority. It pays off immediately. And When you get these media citations and it leads to you getting on TV, people are going to look at you differently. And if you're the one that helps somebody else do this, they're going to have a real emotional connection with you. They're going to refer more people to you. They're going to buy more products and services from you. I use this passive income from selling media authority to finance my passion businesses, and so can you. So let's take a look at everything you're getting here. For one single investment of $497, it's guaranteed done for you citations for yourself. That means you'll be able to use those 4 logos forever. You're getting the ability to resell the done for you placements. You're getting introductions to the super connectors and the media editors. This is so they can find you and put you on TV. You're getting my coaching and success training. You're backed by a 30-day no questions asked money back guarantee. You do have to use the program for 30 days. You use it for 30 days. And if you aren't making more money, no questions asked, no hard feelings at all. I'm happy to give you your money back. Despite the fact that I will have paid money and lost money from doing your citations. And of course, if you want your money back, we'll take your citations down and you wouldn't be able to use the logos anymore. Nobody would ever want that. Once you have these logos, why would you want to not have them anymore? Also, you're getting the software. No monthly charges. The software runs on a PC or a Mac. You're getting it all when you go now to linkedinception.com/deal. You only need to do this once for you, the person, and then it applies to all your businesses, all your products. That's for Mark was asking about, if I have multiple products, do I need to get each product cited? No, it's for you. Now, there's one more thing that Fred asked me to include here. Actually, 2 more things. We're still going through the bonuses here. I'm going to include my live in-person mastermind. This is my high-ticket mastermind. People like Fred and I, Frank Kern and Ryan, our peers, Ryan Dice, they typically charge $20 to $25K for their masterminds. Mine is $24,000 a year. You're now one of my business partners. So you're welcome to come to any one of these events. We meet 3 times a year. That's a legit $8,000 value. Why? Because we're partners now. I want to help you go to the next level. So this will be us in person working on your main business, as well as all the experts, my peers that will be at the mastermind, the people that are paying $24,000 a year to be there. You'll be there rubbing shoulders with them, putting together deals with them, learning from them, and having me personally work on your business and your LinkedIn at the mastermind. What if I can't afford it? First of all, if you can't afford $297 to get started today, because you can get started with 2 payments of $297, seriously, let's do something about that. Let's do something about that. If you are an adult in your life and don't have $300 to invest in yourself right now, I'm here to be your partner and do something about that with you. But you also could do what Michael did. Take a look at this. He says, get this, while the webinar was ongoing, I picked up the phone, called the client, told them they needed this, sent them an invoice for $9.95, told them it had to be today, and had their money in my PayPal account by the end of the webinar. That's how fast and easy it is to sell this media authority. You get that? Literally, while he was on the webinar, while I was talking, somebody paid him $1,000 for these logos. And what did he do? Brilliant, I feel. He took that $1,000 to pay his $500 to get in, his $300 to pay for that other person's logos, and he made $200 before the webinar was over. We also have several of our resellers who have been successful creating recurring revenue with this media authority program. We'll show you this in the course and in the coaching. But businesses with strong customer followings need content to put in their newsletters, and they love content about being quoted in the media. So they will buy a recurring package from you. Imagine where you're making $700 every time, every month from that one business owner. The reason this is so easy to sell is because it's what people want. You don't have to talk them into it. They want this authority for their business. And the reason it's such a great business to be in is it's passive recurring income for you. You're not doing any of the work. You're passing it along to me and my team that's doing all the fulfillment. This is how I've been able to travel the world and maintain my business without any employees. Is I've outsourced all of the work. You can do the same thing. You're doing exactly what I do in this business. Now, all right, here's the one last bonus. I'm running out of voice here, but I promised you guys I would answer your questions. I'm still going to. Here it is. Fred really twisted my arm to include this. What we talked about was that we had some really smart business people here who were definitely going to be interested in the LinkedIn Inception program, but that a lot of you are not salespeople. If this is you, if you don't really like being on the phone, selling, go ahead and put not salesy in the chat box. And I want to speak just to you right now, because this really is for you to get in on this. Like if you've never taken a credit card over the phone and asked somebody for $1,000, that might be a big deal to some people. So for Manny and Damien and Marcia and Areed and Fareed and Lisa and Suman and Kelly, I'm talking to you right now. This is for you. Here's what I'm going to do. I will close your first deal for you. Now, what this means is when you get somebody on LinkedIn who says, hey, I'm interested in those logos, can you hook me up? When you get that message, all you need to do is forward it to my support team, and they'll send you back my schedule, and you'll set up a three-way call. You'll message that person back and says, yeah, I can hook you up. We'll set up a call with my guy, Greg, my immediate guy, Greg. And we'll have a three-way call, and I'll close the deal for you. And when I close that deal, they'll pay $1,000. You make $700, I make $300. I'm going to put that $700 back in your pocket as fast as possible. That's not even the real reason I'm doing this. The real reason is when you see how easy it is for me to close the deal on the phone, you'll be able to do it from then on. I use a very simple 5-why close, which is in the membership site. I show you how to do this. It's another unadvertised bonus training. But I'll close your first deal for you. And once you see me do it, once you're making money with this, you'll have momentum. It'll be easy for you to get going and make money with this. Now, here's the catch with this. You've got to use this in the first 30 days. Because I've set aside 40 time slots in the next 30 days, starting next week. And that's it. And once we hit 40 people with this, no more. Because my time is my most precious commodity with my family. So don't come emailing me later saying, hey, can I still get this bonus? You don't need to ask, was I one of the first 40? I'll take it off the webpage as soon as we hit 40. And if you're one of the people I just spoke to right now that said you're not good at sales, this is the ultimate answer for you. You don't even have to do the sales. Most of the time, people buy it right from your LinkedIn profile. I showed you the case study today of how the guy's selling $10,000 packages right from his LinkedIn profile with a call to action. Most of the time, you never need to talk to somebody to sell this. They just see you have it, they want it, they get it. It's visual, it's easy, it's so valuable for them. But if they do want to talk to you, I'll step in and do it for you. I'm giving you my most valuable commodity, my time. Nobody else in the world would do that. That's 40 calls I'm signing up for because I know we're going to hit 40 today on this webinar. That's because we're partners in this, and that's what makes this different than anything else that's out there. So don't get caught up in your limiting beliefs that, oh, I'm too busy doing this or that or running my store right now to do this. This is about setting up your LinkedIn profile one time with what I showed you today, and then pressing the start button on the software each day. And some of those people are going to buy your main product or service, and then some of them are going to buy the media authority. That's how you're going to make money with this. LinkedInception.com/deal is where you get everything I've covered here today. I am going to need to take a sip from my drink here before we go into the Q&A. Fred, do you want to come back on at all if you have anything to add? And I'll take a sip from my drink, and then we'll go right into the Q&A.
Come on real quick. Now, thanks for the entire training. Like, I was blown away on how simple and easy this is. Now, guys, put in thank Greg right in the question box right now, because I know that he literally gave you guys the entire blueprint on how to actually make profits from LinkedIn. Now, obviously, at this point, he has an opportunity for you guys to work closely with him, but the choice is really up to you, right? At the end of the day, he gave you the entire blueprint. He gave you entire training that you can do it alone. And he brought in a tremendous amount of value in our Ask Fred Lam show to actually share with you what he has been doing. Now, obviously, in life and in everything, there's always like quote unquote a shortcut to all this. And right now, he gave you that opportunity, and it's only $297 for 2 payments or 1 payment of $497. And just by having one client right? You can actually pay it off yourself and really make more money from there. And again, the link is www.linkedinception.com/deal. And at the end of the day, as you guys all know, LinkedIn is growing. It is growing every single day, and it's very hard to hit saturation at this point. And if you guys want to start basically diving right in, getting yourself into the media and getting your stores into the media and potentially even just sell these kind of information or get clients to pay you thousands of dollars per month just to do this, again, you can go after just $497 or the $297 for 2 months. The decision is yours. And the link is www.linkedinception.com/deal. And there is a lot of people thanking you, Greg. Honestly, I myself have been learning a lot. But before we go into the Q&A, all right, before we go to the Q&A, why don't we select our Zero Up Funds lucky winner? How about that? Put in me in the question box if that would excite you right now. That we are going to select $500 right now, and you can use this to invest in LinkedIn Inception if you like, all right? Obviously, again, this $500, you got to either invest in your ads, knowledge, or a program, okay? You cannot basically take that money and buy the latest iPhone or the latest smartwatch, all those other stuff, all right? So we got a lot of me's coming in. So before we jump to the Q&A, let me ask you guys this question, okay? I want to make sure that you guys are paying attention throughout this entire presentation. So I'm going to ask you a question that actually Greg talked about in the training, all right? So here is the question, the $500 question, okay? What did LinkedIn remove in their section that will not allow you to find the people that you want, all right? What is something that LinkedIn removed right now that makes you or not allow you to actually find what you want? All right, I got a lot of people pouring in with answers right now, and I am going to give you, and we do this in GoToWebinar, okay? Right now we do this on GoToWebinar. A lot of people ask about doing it on GoToWebinar and not doing it on YouTube or Facebook. We did it on GoToWebinar today, so you got to answer right in our GoToWebinar. And for those of you that are not live with our GoToWebinar, make sure you sign up and be there. All right, so I am going to give you guys 3 more seconds to answer that question. What is the function that LinkedIn has removed, all right, that this allow you to do what you actually want? All right, I got a lot of people putting it right there, and I'm going to count down in 3, 2, 1. All right, let's stop. So I'm going to randomly select a person right now, and it is going to be, all right, it is going to be Denise Cooper. Denise Cooper is the winner, or Dennis, D-E-N-I-S-E, Cooper is the winner, and I am actually going to be sending you a chat message to make sure that you can see it. Please send me your... All right, so we should all congratulate Denise. It's D-E-N-I-S-E. Okay, it's not Dennis, it's Denise. Denise Cooper. That is the winner. All right, now, guys, at the end of the day right now, you have an opportunity right here. Again, the link is on the URL, it's on the screen. It's www.linkedinception.com/deal. And let's see if you guys have any questions right now for Greg before we call off the night. Obviously, we've been doing this for 2 hours right now, and we still have a lot of people on right now. So what kind of questions do you guys have right now? Feel free to let us know right now, since I still have Greg here, right? He obviously charged a lot of money just to do these kind of training, and I invited him here today. So with that, you guys can actually ask him your last minute questions that you guys have. And again, thank you, Greg, for having this amazing presentation. So Kelly said the pops up after you make it. That pops up after you make it. And then what is the additional? Let's see.
Hey, Fred, I've been scrolling through the questions here, and I'll knock out some of the ones I saw there. And I wanted to say congratulations to Denise and just put that quick screenshot up there. So I know sometimes people might wonder, hey, was there really a Denise Cooper here? But there you see the screenshot from the chat box of Denise Cooper with her answer, who is won the $500 here tonight. So I just wanted you guys to see that, you know, Fred's legit about doing that. And that's really awesome of him to do that and offer that for you guys as a bonus. So one of the questions I saw was, I want to use the logos for my main business, I think for your e-com store. And can I just get this and use this for my store? And the answer to that is yes, you do. It does come with the reseller license. It does come with the opportunity to sell the logos. But if you decided to just use the software, we don't sell the software separately. We only sell it as part of this package. But if you decided you just wanted to use that, you just wanted to get the the media connections and get your main business focused or featured into the major media, then yes, you can certainly do that. There was another question I saw about how much of my time does this typically take. That's always a loaded question. And I'm going to give you a straight answer is anytime you put time into something, you're rewarded, right? And there's no such thing as making money without putting in some of your time, right? So that being said, we've simplified this as much as possible. Here, let me go through the exact steps. You're going to set up your LinkedIn profile with what I've trained you on tonight. And I mean, that's literally less than 30 minutes. And then you're going to run the software every day. And I can show you the software again if you didn't see it. It was a very simple start button. So you're going to queue up your target audience, which if you don't know what your target audience is, you should go after small business owners, because those are people with money that are most likely to want to buy the media authority. And you're going to, or you would run it the target audience of your main business. And then you're going to just press the start button. You do have to do that part every day. That's your part. You got to do your part. And then in the background, the software runs in the background, so you can use your computer. You can leave it and go do something else for the day. It goes and views your target audience. In turn, they come back and view you. And when they're viewing you, remember, you're going to have written your profile congruently. We talked about that. So that they're going to view you, and your profile is going to say, let's say you're viewing small business owners in Tampa this week. Your profile is going to say, I specialize in helping small business owners in Tampa get into the media. That congruency is so powerful. It's a key part of the lesson I taught you tonight that we're going to be using in this course, because they're going to say, hey, I'm a small business owner in Tampa, or you can use any city, of course. And wow, you specialize in helping people like me get into national media? I would love to do that. And that's what, and they'll have a call to action where they'll come to your webpage where they can buy it. Or you can use our affiliate webpage if you want us to process the transactions for you. So you can do it either way. That's how this works. And it's exactly how I do it. You can see it in my LinkedIn profile. You can see that it's there and live and the main thing that I do. This is how we make our money. I've shown you my financials. And by teaming up with you is how we're going to grow and take this to the next level.
All right. Well, thank you, Greg, for answering that question. I think that's a lot of people that really asked that question too. Now, guys, again, the link is on the screen right now. Go there, sign up, and if this is right for you, and if you decide to choose choice one, that is absolutely going to be fine. So everyone, again, please thank you, Greg, again, for this amazing presentation, because he literally gave you guys well over like an hour and 30 minutes of training. You guys should all thank Greg for all this. And making sure that you guys actually try some of these stuff that he talked about. So even if you're not joining, it's absolutely going to be fine. You still want to actually go ahead and use whatever you have been taught through Greg and actually get your LinkedIn profile up. And basically, you may actually stumble upon one or two person that says, hey, can I pay you to actually get this all done? And by that time, you'll see how powerful this is, and you can actually, and hopefully, if Greg still have it up, you can still join in from there, all right? So again, at the end of the day, guys, go to the URL on the screen. It's www.linkedIninception.com/deal. And thank you, Greg, for being here. I hope that you have a phenomenal, great time. I know that you are a very busy person. Thank you so much for actually doing all these. And yes, A-Read, there is a 30-day money-back guarantee for all this stuff. Greg, any last-minute closing words?
No, thanks so much for having me, Fred. The only other thing I saw in the chat box was if you're brand new to LinkedIn, don't worry about that. You're not actually doing a lot on LinkedIn with this, so don't let it, your knowledge about LinkedIn hold you back from doing this. You'll set things up right, and then you're just running a software every day. This is really about media authority, which is so much bigger than LinkedIn. But thanks so much for having me, Fred. You've had a great interactive group here. It's been an honor and a pleasure, and can't wait to see you out at one of the next events.
Awesome. Thank you. Now, guys, again, at the end of the day, we are having a lot of training, and same thing every single week, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. And I will be giving away $500 investment towards your business. Now, next week's topic is going to be something that will blow you away. It's something that no one has ever talked about in public, and I'm going to share all this with you, and we will not have guest speaker. It's just going to be live with me, and I will bring you behind the scenes and tell you the ugly truth about Google, okay? Something that a lot of people won't dare to talk about, a lot of things that people don't know about Google. I'm going to bring you behind the scene and tell you everything about that, and please make sure you are here live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and at the end of the day, you guys want my zero up funds? You gotta be here live. Other than that, I hope you guys have a fantastic day ahead, and I hope that you guys learn a lot of amazing things through Greg. And again, like I always say, right? With these kind of training, with these kind of shows, you gotta take action, okay? Even if you're not gonna be joining LinkedIn Inception, it is fine. But what I ask you to do is to make sure you do up your, you game up your Facebook profile, sorry, not your Facebook, your LinkedIn profile, and play it around there and test it up from there, all right? Other than that, guys, have a wonderful week ahead, and I look forward on seeing you guys next week, same time, same link, and same location. Other than that, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye now.